New Year's Eve, a big night for the bubbly, so we're ready to help you get the best bottle for the best price. Ray Isle knows how to choose the perfect sparkling wines. He's executive wine editor of Food and Wine magazine, and we're very happy to have you with us in the studio this morning.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, let's talk about it, because we kind of really run the gamut here,
yes,
right?
we do. We're covering every single sparkling base you can cover.
All right, very good.
And starting off with Prosecco, which is the classic, affordable. This is $14 a bottle, Mianetto Prosecco. Light, sparkling, a little bit, tiny bit sweet, kind of peachy, fruity.
Right.
Just
there's so many
easygoing.
different kinds of Proseccos, and some of them are inexpensive, and for good reason, because they don't taste
because they don't taste so good.
Right.
I actually think Mianetto tastes pretty good. It's a nice, for an affordable, affordable sparkling wine. It's a good cocktail party start everything off wine, and
That's
it's
quite
also
good.
a great. I've got some wine left over in the morning. Mimosas, Bellinis. You can mix it. You don't worry about the cost.
That's pretty tasty.
Cava from Spain. Now, Cava kind of got eclipsed a little by Prosecco, but it's the classic sparkling wine of Spain, made in the same way as actual champagne.
Oh, okay.
Different grapes.
Right.
Crazy sort of local Spanish grapes. So a little drier than the Prosecco. This one, Avignon, is just, I think, really citrusy, clean. Very dry and crisp.
The taste is very different, but the quality of it is very much champagne.
Very like champagne, and $19 as opposed to more. Substantially more.
There you have it. What's this?
Okay, American sparkling wine. There's a lot of great California sparkling wine out there. Gloria Ferrer, Blanc de Noir. Now champagne is actually typically made from 3 different grapes.
Right.
Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, which is a red grape, and Meunier, which is a red grape. Blanc de Noir is entirely Pinot Noir, even though it's a white sparkling wine. You can see it's just a very little bit
There's
pale.
a little bit of a blush on it.
Yeah, and so you get a little more richness, a little more depth. This is about $20 a bottle. And you get some of that berry fruit that Pinot Noir gives, but it's still got the lightness of a white wine. And it's a great, some of these California wines, this is out of Sonoma, are just fantastic, sort of celebratory, wonderful wines. Again,
this is lovely. This is really nice. All right.
And then Lambrusco. Now, Lambrusco got a bad rap for a long time.
And for good reason.
For good reason, because it was sweet and disgusting, basically. But what's happened is there's going to be kind of Lambrusco renaissance. And there's all these cool new producers who are doing dry versions that are more the traditional Lambrusco. And it comes from Emilia Romagna, which is a fantastic food region in Italy.
Right.
And so this is a wine that goes great with an entire meal.
This scares me.
This
is, of all of these so far, this is the biggest leap of faith.
Be not afraid. It's good. Think of it as a red wine that happens to have bubbles in it.
Well, it is big though. It's
big. It's got acidity. It's actually got tannins. So you could pair this with something like you could actually pair it with a steak and it would be good. But it's also celebratory. It's also got that fizz to it and tart.
Wow.
Dry.
It's so surprising. I don't anticipate it.
And again, under $20. And then of course, champagne.
Right.
And real champagne comes from Champagne in France. This is Taittinger, which is one of the great grand marques of champagne. They're Brut La Française, which is their basic affordable cuvee.
And Brut means?
Brut means dry, completely dry. Right. It's listed for $45 a bottle. This time of year, you often find it for less because the past 2 weeks are the biggest champagne sales time of the year by huge leaps.
Right.
And it's, classic dry, slightly bready, got that toasted brioche note. And it's New Year's classic,
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
I don't think you can.
And so that to me is what New Year's is all about. There's the bubbles going up.
All right, I'm going to put the glass down because they used to say that you'd be able to tell the quality of a glass of champagne by the bubble count. Remember that? Is that one of those old wives' tales?
It's it's a little bit that. It's the fineness of the bubbles. Classic champagne has very, very fine bubbles, and if you went back to the Prosecco, you'd see the bubbles are much larger, and it gives it a different texture in the mouth.
Yeah.
And there are millions of bubbles in any glass of champagne.
Sure.
And they often notch the glass to create more bubble.
To create more bubbles, yeah. And in this case, size does matter.
Yeah, and actually, exactly.
Smaller is better.
Smaller is better for bubbles.
All right. Ray Isle, thank you very much. What a great tour.
Thanks.
Really terrific.
Glad to be here. Thank you.